Donald Trump is lashing out at Fox boss Rupert Murdoch amid the ongoing fallout from a billion-dollar defamation lawsuit in which Murdoch admitted that several Fox hosts lied to their viewers about the 2020 election. In fact, Murdoch even confessed that platforming those lies was a business decision. The court filing also revealed that Fox and Murdoch were secretly helping the Trump campaign. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. For years now, the shtick over at Fox has been the same. They lie to their viewers while simultaneously telling those same viewers that it's the rest of the media who's lying to them and that Fox is the only outlet telling the truth. Even now, after their lies have been exposed in a series of court filings, they're still doing that same shtick.
They lie to you over and over again. How many Americans believe these lies?
It makes me angry. Because they're lying, they're deliberately lying. They knew they were lying.
I want to challenge people watching tonight who don't wear red hats, don't consider themselves MAGA, don't consider themselves very strong political people. I want you to ask yourself how many times you've been lied to, not just by this government, but how many times you've been lied to by the people whose job it is to tell you the truth in the media.
Being lectured about the truth by Kellyanne Conway is like getting lessons on conflict resolution from Megyn. They should start spelling Kellyanne the same way. But fine, I'll count all the times the government lied to me. There was that time they claimed the inauguration was the biggest ever. There was that time they said a bunch of people died at the Bowling Green massacre, which is not a thing. There was the time they said the president didn't know about hush money payments, even though he wrote the check himself. Oh, there was that time in March of 2020 when a government official told us the coronavirus was being contained. I can't wait to see who this is. Maybe it's the liberal media mob or sleepy Joe Biden. Oh, or that evil Dr. Fauci.
The HHS secretary said this morning that we're ramping up. We're ramping up with the commercial
now?
labs.
Why didn't they do it while it was contained? Get ahead of it.
It is being contained. And do you not think it's being contained?
In addition to being an accomplished liar, she always talked to reporters like a gossipy teen at her locker. Do you not think Devin's going to ask me to prom? Because he's definitely going to ask me to prom. He's the star quarterback and I'm the cheer captain. Kellyanne, you're not even on the cheerleading team. Yeah, but I'm cheerful. I'm like famously cheerful. Although while we're on the topic, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my personal favorite Kellyanne lie from April of 2020 when she tried to blame everyone but Trump for the COVID crisis.
This is COVID-19, not COVID-1, folks. And so you would think the people charged with the World Health Organization facts and figures would be on top of that. People should know the facts.
Yeah, people should know the facts. Like the fact that the 19 in COVID-19 is for the year it was discovered, not because it's the 19th COVID. But good on you for thinking they named diseases the same way they name Fast and Furious movies. The coolest part in COVID-19 is when COVID convinces Spanish flu to come out of retirement to help break SARS out of prison. Anyway, the point is their shtick is falling apart now that we have definitive proof in these court filings from the billion-dollar Dominion lawsuit that Fox hosts were not only lying, but they knew they were lying.
Fox staff were privately blasting the big lie as BS, insane, mind-blowingly nuts, reckless.
As Trump lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell were making wildly false claims about rigged voting machines after Trump lost in 2020, private communications reveal that pro-Trump voices at Fox News were calling it nuts.
Breaking news tonight involving Fox News and owner Rupert Murdoch, acknowledging under oath Fox News hosts endorsed false election fraud claims.
Fox News boss Rupert Murdoch said in a sworn deposition that any Fox News executives who allowed lies about the 2020 election to be broadcast, quote, should be reprimanded or maybe got rid of.
Wow, notice he didn't say fired. He said got rid of. I'd be a little nervous if I worked over at Fox News. Next time you're in Rupert's office, make sure you're not standing on top of any trap doors. Now, just as a reminder, I don't have a Rupert Murdoch impression, but I do have a borderline offensive Australian accent. So I think if you were in your office, it would go a little something like this. Listen, Tom. We're gonna have to get rid of you, mate, but we got a pretty good severance package for you. I'd love to fill you in on it. Before I do, just move to the left a little bit, all right? And now forward a little bit. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And perfect. And one last thing, Tom. Say hi to the Sharks for me, you son of a bitch. Thank you. You know what's nice? Because it's like borderline offensive. It's right on that border. Now, as we've discussed this week, Murdoch and the Fox hosts knew they were lying and admitted in private they were lying, but it wasn't just the lying. As bad as that is, Fox was also actively helping and providing material aid to the Trump campaign during the 2020 election.
During Trump's campaign, Rupert provided Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, with Fox confidential information about Biden's ads, along with debate strategy, providing Kushner a preview of Biden's ads before they were public.
So Fox allegedly took confidential company information about Biden campaign ads and gave that information to the Trump campaign. That is shocking. Also, I can't imagine how it could have possibly helped Trump, since the basic gist of Biden's campaign was, I'm normal and he's out of his mind. I mean, what were those strategy sessions like? I just heard from Rupert. He says Biden's ads are all about how he's normal and I'm weird. So we got to start doing ads where I look and sound normal. Let's do some shots of me doing normal stuff in my wheelhouse, like drinking water, hugging a flag, using an umbrella, and looking directly at the sun. The sun, we love the sun, don't we, folks? And we want to touch it. We want to touch the sun. I had a friend, a dear friend, a Greek guy. His name was Daedalus. Either one's fine. Both are okay. I never quite learned how to say. He had a son, Icarus. They made a pair of wings, beautiful wings. Beautiful wings out of beeswax, and I was there when they took off, and Daedalus, he said to his son, Ick, that's what I called him Ick. He said to him, he said, don't fly too close to the sun, but then I took him aside and I said, if I were you, I'd try to get as close as you can to the sun. Because it looks like a big gold coin, it might be gold, you never know, you gotta get as close as you can, and Ick, he took my advice, and his wings melted, and he fell right into the sea. Big old splash, it was so sad. So, the saddest splash, and I remember, his dad came over to me and said, did you see what happened? And I just looked at him and said, hey, it's none of my beeswax. Also, they gave Trump debate strategy. What was Rupert Murdoch's genius debate tip? Just snort Adderall and never stop talking for 90 minutes?
You got it.
Not malicious.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes a statement like that.
Oh,
well, that's a big statement.
I support
that means you
the
just
blood.
lost the radical left. They said it would take. No, you were number two. China ate your lunch, Joe. He said, stupid bastards. He said it.
Good debate prep, Rupert. Remember, Donald, everyone trusts a screamer. This is an especially shocking revelation, but of course it's also not surprising. There's been a long symbiotic relationship between Fox News and the Republican Party, and that relationship only intensified during the Trump era. On-air personalities like Sean Hannity and Jeanine Pirro actually campaigned on stage with Trump at a rally in 2018. And even after Trump's presidency was over, Fox host Tucker Carlson was seen cackling wildly next to Trump while watching a Saudi-funded golf tournament at one of Trump's clubs. So yes, Murdoch and Fox helped the Trump campaign and spread the lie that the election was rigged for political purposes. But as Murdoch freely admitted, he also did it for profit. In that same court filing, Murdoch was asked why Fox had continued to give a platform to election wingnut and pillow guy Mike Lindell, who spends lots of money on advertising on Fox. And Murdoch said the decision to platform Lindell had nothing to do with politics. It was about money.
Today's filing also reveals, when asked why Fox continues to give a platform to, for example, Mike Lindell, who continues to this day to lie about Dominion, Murdoch said, it's not red or blue, it's green.
It's not red or blue, it's green sounds as damning as Colonel Jessup saying, you're goddamn right, I ordered the code red. When Murdoch said it, did the lawyers in the room make that face Tom Cruise did when he couldn't believe he got the confession? The court filings also reveal that despite providing aid to the Trump campaign and spreading his lies, Fox and Murdoch panicked and tried to backpedal away from him after the January 6th insurrection.
The court filing makes clear that after the riot at the Capitol, Murdoch was through with Donald Trump. Writing in one email, Fox News very busy pivoting. We want to make Trump a non-person.
Too late, mother. You built this. It's easy to put a brain in Frankenstein when he's a lifeless body strapped to a table, but good luck getting it out of his head while he's lumbering around a golf course and interrupting weddings at Mar-a-Lago to give off-the-cuff toast. In conclusion, love is good and fire is bad. To the newlyweds. That revelation angered Trump, who's been melting down all week on his fake Twitter service, trashing Murdoch and Fox News. Trump wrote earlier this week, if Rupert Murdoch honestly believes that the presidential election of 2020, despite massive amounts of proof to the contrary, was not rigged and stolen, then he and his group of MAGA-hating globalist rhinos should get out of the news business as soon as possible. Certain Brave and patriotic Fox News host who he scorns and ridicules got it right. He got it wrong. They should be admired and praised, not rebuked and forsaken. Rebuked and forsaken. It sounds like he asked ChatGPT to write a coked-up version of the Old Testament. I also do love when Trump starts using big words like rebuked and forsaken, despite the fact that he can't spell the word stolen. We don't know how this case will turn out. We do know that the filings once again prove that Fox is not a legitimate news organization. They actively helped the presidential campaign. They knowingly lied to their viewers. They tried to backpedal away from Trump. But by then it was too late, and now the monster they've created is turning on them. If Murdoch and his allies thought they could simply get rid of Trump after spending years elevating him, then I guess they're just
stupid bastards.
This has been A Closer Look.